What's up? Happy Monday. Welcome to Valley Vision. I'm Abby Alonzo. Joe Mitchell doing the producing. First weekend without LSU football, Joe. It's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
I didn't even know what to talk about today. I mean, basketball. We've got basketball, some basketball. But it was a slow weekend all around. Finals week. So taking care of the student athletes, letting them study so they can pass their classes and continue to be eligible. So not anything really going on this week, so it's gonna be a little bit boring, I guess. Basketball will pick back up Saturday and Sunday, men on Saturday, women's on Sunday. But as for the rest of the week, we're gonna be just chopping it up about random stuff, I guess, Joe.
Yeah.
Before we get started with the bowl talk and Heisman talk, I do want to shout out 7-3 Distilling and St. Rock Vodka for helping us build the community, giving us everything we need to keep Valley Vision going. And if you stopped by on Friday and got to taste the vodka, you know it's really good. If you haven't yet, feel free to come by Cards and Culture. We've got a cool new bar set up with not just the St. Rock Vodka, but a lot of their different products, gin, whiskey, bourbon, all kinds of stuff. It's really great. So feel free to swing by. And just a little bit more on St. Rock Vodka. They are partnered with By Traditions. So proceeds or portions of the proceeds of each bottle go directly back to NIL, to the LSU athletes. So whether you're a vodka drinker or you just want to support the LSU athletes that we talk about every day, swing by, get a taste, maybe buy a bottle. You can find them in Rouse's, Total Wine, I think, has them, or their website, and they're not super expensive. So check them out. Shout out St. Rock. We will continue to push that because we like the vodka here. All right, LSU is headed to Tampa on January 1st to play in the ReliaQuest Bowl against Wisconsin. I know we had mentioned last week that maybe it was the Music City Bowl. It's not, unfortunately, so no Nashville for us. But Tampa's not bad, right? We just love to play in Florida for some reason. And I'm a little bit bummed because I know we were or some analysts and some projections had LSU playing Notre Dame. How freaking cool would that have been to see Brian Kelly match up against his old team? It's not happening. Sorry to crush your dreams. We're playing Wisconsin, which they were the preseason favorite to win the Big Ten West. They finished 7-5 and were third place in the division. This should be a pretty easy win for LSU. Here we go again. Y'all know Joe makes faces when he's not on the screen, so I have to call him out. Explain what that meant.
No, look, LSU is going to be favored. They should win this game. But we don't know who's playing and who's not playing.
That is true, and that was my next. I know we know Malik is playing because of the record that he wants to break. But as for everyone else, you're right, we don't know. You think Jayden plays?
I would hope so, because I think, and this isn't any shade towards anybody, but I do think that when you're a competitor and you're going to the league to be a competitor and you're getting paid to compete, I feel like if you're a competitor, you should have that competitive nature and go compete. I think that's like what you do. That's what you love doing. So go do it.
Go ahead. Are you?
No, I was going to jump to something else, but you go ahead if you want to.
Well, I'm always torn on this because say he does win the Heisman. By the way, side note, he is the favorite to win.
It's not close either.
It's not even close. Minus 1,200, dude. He's the favorite. After that Pac-12 game, that championship game, Bo Nix is now in third. Michael Penix Jr. second with plus 900. It's not close. That is Saturday. Oh, my gosh, that's Saturday. The Heisman ceremony is December 9th. We're just a few days away. God, that came up quick. But say Jayden does win the Heisman, as he should. If you or him, are you playing in the bowl game as like team play, kind of what you just said for that reason, or are you trying to avoid any sort of injury?
Look, I understand the business decision part of it, trying to stay healthy and all that. I understand that. But you got a guy with Malik, one of your friends, like, and one of your teammates who's trying to go break a record. Like, I would think he would want to be the quarterback to help him do that. And he came here and won over the fan base, won over the team, went on this Heisman run. Like, I would expect him to go out and compete, but I don't know. I'm not making a judgment one way or the other.
Right. And we don't know what's going on behind closed doors and what's going into his decision to play or not. We don't even know if he's decided to play or not, but I don't see him sitting this game out.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like that type. And because of the point that you just brought up, Malik is trying to hit a goal. And I think the whole team knows how important and how much weight that holds for him. And I don't see Jayden sitting out knowing that he could have a direct impact on whether or not Malik breaks that record.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, yep, ReliaQuest Bowl, New Year's Day. As soon as we know who's playing, we'll let y'all know.
I will say, in terms of Wisconsin, they will very likely not have many people sitting out. Tanner Mordecai is the quarterback. Like, I want to say he's a redshirt senior, so, like, this is his draft year. He's got no more eligibility. Like, he needs to go play and prove something. Like, he's going to be playing. And then Braylon Allen, the running back for Wisconsin. Like, he had a good year, but with those 5 losses, I think he wants to go out and prove something again. And frankly, if you're an offensive player trying to boost your draft stock and you get a chance to play against LSU,
it's pretty, good opportunity, right? Yeah. Unfortunately for us. Okay, switch over to basketball because we are getting into basketball season heavy now. We know, or we talked about last show, that the women's basketball team seems like they're putting the pieces together again. Angel Reese is back. The vibes are good. Shaq's been an idol for her, somebody that's guided her back to her ways. Everybody's back down to earth. Still trying to figure out the chemistry, but they look good. That was the last game they've had. They won't play again until Sunday when they host ULL here because of finals week. But the AP poll came out this morning. They are still at number 7. This is the 4th consecutive week that they've stayed in that same spot. But to give you a little bit more look at the numbers here and why they might be at 7, the Tigers currently lead the SEC in scoring with 93.8 points per game. They have a shooting percentage of .507, a turnover margin of plus 7.3, and they also rank in the top 3 in a handful of other statistics: assists, steals. Anissa Mora with those steals, really, really doing some work. A rebounding margin, free throw percentage, and block shots. So the number, I know we're seeing some miscommunication, and it's not necessarily all rainbows and butterflies right now, but they're still putting up very, very good numbers. That could translate to more wins as they, again, continue to find that chemistry, continue to put the pieces where they're supposed to fit in this puzzle. I think we're going to see a lot more success. I do think they'll end up beating ULL on Sunday too. Men's basketball is not having as much success. Well, let me backtrack that. They did just beat Southeastern on Friday in the PMAC, but it wasn't a blowout and it wasn't pretty. They won 73-66. You would expect that game to maybe be a little or a bigger gap in between or in the score. We kind of thought the same thing would happen with Nichols. Nichols ended up winning. So these smaller Louisiana teams are running up on Matt McMahon's team. This time they did come out with a win, but they trailed most of the first half. And it was a little bit concerning. It was sloppy offense again, and that's not to say you've got Jordan Wright and Will Baker, and they're doing their thing. They look good. They're putting up numbers, but it was just sloppy offense overall. They shot 60.9% in the first half, and then in the second half, just 36.4%. And we talked about turnovers from the game before this. They had 19. Well, this time they had 17. So I guess, you knocked off less turnovers than before. 11 in the second half. So a lot of fine-tuning to do. I think Matt McMahon is a little bit frustrated with what's going on. But again, you lost a player. You lost your point guard right before the season. So that just put everything out of whack. Speaking of Jalen Cook, they are waiting on another verdict because they appealed the decision to have him. He right now he's not eligible, okay? He's not allowed to play because of the transfer deal. He was here his freshman year, transferred to Tulane for 2 seasons, transferred back here. Of course, the NCAA doesn't have cut and dry processes, and it changes every time depending on who it is. And we've talked about this, the gray area with the NCAA and how it should be, uniform across. It doesn't matter who it is or what team it is. The situation should be handled the same. It's not, for whatever reason. So they have again appealed that decision. They're waiting on a verdict. And Matt McMahon told the media that he's pretty hopeful that Jalen, meets all the criteria. There's no reason that he should not be approved to play. Now, granted, like I just said, you really don't know, because even though he matches all the criteria, they could come up with some other reason that he can't play this season. And we've seen it happen before. But I will tell you, if they can get Jalen Cook back, I think it's going to make a world of difference for this team, because they need him. And you'd like to think that they can make the adjustments and win games without him. And they're winning games. They're 5-3 right now, but it's way closer than it should be, and they are not reaching their potential. But again, you lose your point guard, somebody is going to have a huge impact on this team right before the season. Yeah, you're scrambling and you're trying to scrape out wins, which is exactly what we're seeing right now. So they have a test ahead. I mean, they pull one off over Southeastern, but they're going to face Kansas State on Saturday, and they're coming off an Elite 8 appearance. So I'm not very hopeful for Saturday. Now, they've had a lot of time to kind of adjust. That's 8 days, right? Yeah, from Friday to Saturday. So a lot of time to kind of work on those things. Hopefully the turnovers are fixed within the next week, but Kansas State's going to be a challenge for sure. And y'all, this is literally, I'm like pulling everything I can. But finals week is really doing us dirty. There's not too much going on. We'll round out with Tiger T. Simone Augustus has been elected she'll be inducted into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, I believe in January, somewhere down the line. But they did just come out and say that she will be inducted. She'll also go with 2 of her former WNBA teammates, Maya Moore and Taj McWilliams-Franklin. She played with them on the Minnesota Lynx. Augustus and Moore won titles in 2011, 2013, 2015, and 2017 together. McWilliams-Franklin was on the 2011 team. She is iconic, not just at LSU, but in the WNBA and women's basketball in general. She changed the sport. While she was at LSU, she's one of only 5 Tigers to top the 2,000-point mark. She ended her career with 2,702 points, which is the second highest point total in program history. In 140 games, she and the team went 121-19 and finished every season that she was on the team ranked among the top 5 teams in the nation. So they were top 5 every time she was on the team, or every year she was on the team. They lost back-to-back games only once during her career. One singular time did they lose back-to-back games while she was on the team. And the 121 wins stand as the most ever for the program over a 4-year span. So that is her impact on LSU. But again, she just completely changed the way that college or women's college basketball is looked at. I know I was looking at some numbers, and the people that she drew to games, the way that she had more eyes, similar to what we're seeing now with some of the girls on the team right now, how they're drawing the eyes of people who don't necessarily care about basketball, but they enjoy keeping up with or seeing these players on the court. And I think Augustus kind of started that way back in the day and just kind of put LSU basketball or LSU women's basketball a little bit on the map, and brought a lot more eyes to the sport. So super, super cool. I know they announced it Thursday after the game that she was going to be inducted. Her and Kim Mulkey exchanged a huge hug. It was really sweet. She was also one of the people in the video for Kim Mulkey when she recorded her 700th win. So it's just another check on the boxes for LSU women's basketball. And Joe, I feel like you have something you want to say because you're typing in the doc. So just go ahead and say it because you're confusing me. Just go ahead.
I wasn't trying to confuse you. I was trying to see if this is something you wanted to talk about today or if you wanted to wait till a later date. But there's a bunch of quarterbacks entering the transfer portal. Obviously, with Jayden Daniels leaving, is there any that you would?
We're going to save that
Yeah.
because I think that could be a little bit more of a discussion when we're in the middle of finals week and no news has come out on Thursday. So that's what you can expect on Thursday. Some more talk about football. Because we are going to be trying to pull content this week. Finals, man. Grades first, though. Student comes before athlete. Get it done. Get some degrees. All right, that's all we got for y'all today. Got some cool stuff planned, trying to hammer it out, get it all locked in. That Jordan Wright interview is coming soon, I swear. We said it a couple weeks ago, but men's basketball has been all over the place, and we are on their time. So when Mr. Kentlow, their SID, gets back to me, we will sit down, do that in-depth interview, and then hopefully I give him a run for his money on some free throw shots. I do need to start practicing like ASAP Rocky, though. Appreciate y'all. We will see y'all on Thursday.